Hello everyone, I'm Sangeeta. Welcome back to my channel, Green Fingers. The plant that we are going to talk about today is Spathiphyllum. This plant is a native of tropical regions of America, Southeast Asia. This is a tropical plant, and this plant has got this unique flowers. Because of this flower, it has this hood-like structure, which is called as spath. So it's a very beautiful flower. It has got a green, white and green mixed color. Actually, when the flower is fresh, the flowers are white in color, as you can see here. And as the flower ages, it turns to greener shade. This is slowly turning to green. And here you can see a more matured flower. It's a slightly older flower and it's turned to green color. So that is the speciality of this flower, that hood shaped structure. The other name for this flower, this plant, is peace lily. Even though this plant is not connected to the other lilies, it is called as peace lily also. It has got this unique long broad leaves, dark green leaves, and this white flower. It is actually a very stunning plant. I've got quite a number of these plants here, as you can see. It's a very easy plant to take care of, not a very hassle-free. It doesn't require much of care as such. This plant gained its popularity because NASA had put this plant in their best 10 plants, air purifying plants list. So they made a list of which are the best 10 air purifying plants, and peace lily was one among them. And that's how this plant became even more popular, and it became a very popular household plant. And as I've told you, this is a tropical plant. It requires low to medium sunlight. This is a best plant for indoors. You can keep it indoors. If the room has got very low sunlight, no problem, this plant will survive very well because it requires low sunlight. So if you're keeping it indoors, make sure that you don't keep it next to a window, because brighter sunlight falling on the plant can harm the plant. So just move it slightly 2 to 3 feet away from the window and keep it indoors. It requires very low sunlight basically. So in that way, this is a very good indoor plant. You will again know if this plant is getting too much of sunlight. If you keep the plant outdoors in bright sunlight, you can see that the leaves will turn yellow. So that is one indication that the light is above the requirement. And if the leaves are turning brown, then you will know that the sunlight is extremely high and you have to immediately move the plant to a place where the sunlight is low. So that is how you will know the light requirement of this plant. The first comment that I'm going to read today has come under the Begonia Cocodema video. It is from AJF. He says, I can't wait to come back to Kerala to start a fern garden. Ron Fernandez. Yes, Kerala is actually a very beautiful place. Please come back. As I've told you, this is a tropical plant. It's a very easy to take care of plant. It will adapt to the surroundings very fast. So that is one advantage of this plant. It is very easy. And when you talk about watering this plant will tell you when it requires water. So that is one advantage, because when you when the plant requires water, or when the medium is dry, what happens is all these leaves, they will droop down. They will droop down like this. All the leaves will droop down. So you can make out that the plant requires water. Immediately you have to water it. So when this process of watering it happens for 10 days or 1 or 2 weeks, you will know when to water the plant. For instance, once in every 2 days, this plant is signaling you that it requires water. Then you will know that you have to water this plant once in 2 days. In some other countries or some other environment, maybe we can water it once in 3 days, or some hotter places maybe it requires water daily. So the plant itself will signal and tell you that it requires water. When we talk about temperature, as I told you, this is a tropical plant, so the ideal temperature will be like between 20 to 40 degrees Celsius. That will be the ideal temperature for this plant, but a little bit 5 degrees up and down is kind of okay. It will tolerate. As I told you, this plant will tolerate a little bit of high temperature, low temperature, everything. But if your temperature is below 10 degrees Celsius, then I think it might harm the plant. So in that case, the best thing to do is move your plant indoors. Once a plant is indoor, then there's nothing to worry. So that's about temperature. When we talk about the potting mixture, the medium that we can use for this plant, any regular medium that we use for any foliage, any tropical plant is good enough, which consists of coco peat, natural manure, sand, garden soil, etc. I will do one thing. I will flash a mixture, the medium, how you can mix your medium. I will flash it on the screen so that you can take a note of that. The next comment that I'm going to read has come under the begonia care and propagation video. It is from Visitation Miranda. Hi, good afternoon. I'm waiting for year-end video and also waiting for a new year, new thing. Happy New Year to you and your family. Love from Goa. Bye. Take care. Yes, I am also planning to make a year-end video. Let's hope that it will come soon. When we talk about repotting, you can leave this plant in the same pot for maximum 2 years, because this grows rapidly. This plant grows fast. So you can repot it after 2 years when you see that the plant is root bound. Then you can shift it, you can split, you can divide the plant. You can see there are 2-3 plants that is grown, and you can divide it and make it into repot it in 3 different pots. So that is about repotting. When you talk about fertilizing, you can use any organic fertilizer. I use vermicompost, I use normal cow dung slurry. We can use anything, whatever organic fertilizer we make at home, we can use that, rice water. Just make sure that you are mixing ample amount of water to it, and you are diluting it, and then you are giving it to your plant. So that's about fertilizing. Use any kind of organic fertilizer. Give it only 3 times or 4 times in a year, and that is good enough fertilizing for your plant. I have read somewhere that this plant is poisonous, and if you have pets at home, you have to be careful. So if you have pets and the pet happens to eat or chew on to the plant, it is poisonous for them. I have a dog at home, but till date I have not faced any problem. But to be on the safer side, keep it in a higher raised platform if you have a dog, a cat, or any pet at home for that matter. There are around 40 varieties of Spathiphyllum, but I have 3 varieties here. This is the variety that I have maximum, and then I have got a variegated one which I got recently from a nursery, but it's not flowered. I'll show you that plant. And then I have another plant which has got a smaller flower. So these are the 3 varieties that I have, but there are around 40 of them. And when you talk about these flowers, These flowers are fragrant. Early morning when you walk in this garden, it is so fragrant. It has got a very minty smell. When you just walk pass by this area, you can get that beautiful fragrance. So it is fragrant. If I can have green fingers, you can have them too. Plant something today and prove me right. Bye bye. See you in the next video.